In today's video, we're going to show you all of the steps you need to take to cross the Nicaragua-Costa Rica border at Penas Blancas. We're Chris and Tova from Chris and Tova's Amazing Adventures, and we recently drove all the way from Cold Lake, Alberta, Canada to San Juan del Sur, Nicaragua to our new home. We spent 1 month on the road with our 2 bulldogs, Tigger and Penelope, and our rooftop tent, driving through United States, Mexico, Guatemala, El Salvador, Honduras, and then into Nicaragua. We loved it so much, we're hitting the road again, this time making our way to Costa Rica, which we plan to stay for 6 months. Nicaragua border crossings are by far the most difficult in Central America, so you do want to make sure you have all of your ducks in a row and all of your paperwork prepared. We have crossed the Penas Blancas border before while doing a border run, but this time we're actually staying in Costa Rica, so wish us luck. As you get close to the border, you may start to see a bunch of trucks lining up. Don't stop there. You're going to pass the trucks and go right up to the parking lot. Make sure that you have American dollars for the border crossing fees. In Nicaragua, they don't accept colones. As you get close to the border terminal, you'll see aggressive fixers chasing after your car and trying to get your attention, wanting to help you cross the border. You do not need the help of a fixer to cross this border. It's generally pretty simple. Avoid stopping for the fixers and continue driving up to the blue booth where you'll see the actual border officials. They are not the people in the red vests, but the folks in the blue DGA shirts. They will talk to you for a moment, look at your passports, and give you your customs intake form. Then you will proceed into the parking lot. The steps are the same whether you're driving or whether you're doing this border crossing on foot, which is totally possible and people do it all the time. It's only a short walk between Nicaragua and Costa Rica. First, you will go into the main terminal to get your exit stamp. Then, if you do have a vehicle, you'll need to cancel your tip. Start by seeing the DGA agent in the parking lot, then the police, and then you'll go into the tip office to cancel your tip before leaving for Costa Rica. Take your luggage in with you when you're getting your exit stamp. They'll want to scan your luggage before you leave. If you're crossing borders with a vehicle, you'll want to have multiple photocopies of the ownership, driver's license, and passport. We would recommend 3 photocopies of each for each border crossing. If you're driving a vehicle, you may be required to have your vehicle scanned on entry or exit from Nicaragua. Here we'll take you through the process in case you do need to be scanned.
The guy inspected the vehicle, told us we need to x-ray our vehicle. We have nothing in our vehicle except for us and just our safety equipment. We have our jack and our safety triangles and fire extinguisher, which is necessary for driving in Central America. Tova's off doing what appears to be an x-ray. They told us to get an x-ray of the vehicle. We went to the x-ray spot where all the tractor trailers are, and they said, nope, we need to go to another building. So we're now at another building. Tova's waiting in line to go and talk to them. So we will see what's happening. But so far, this border run's going fairly well. So it's about 30 degrees outside, and Tova's standing in line. She's currently 3rd in line in the shade. So thank goodness there's shade. But it is 30 degrees outside, and I'm sitting in the air conditioning, comfortable. Sorry about that, Tove, but hanging out the vehicle, the air conditioning, 19 degrees in here. But keep it nice and cold in here for her to come back in. Update from the vehicle. While I was being scanned, Tove had to walk around the scanner. I pulled up, went through the scanner. I got out, sat in the safety hut. They scanned the vehicle, and then scanner was done, got back to the vehicle. We're now getting some signatures, hopefully, so we can just carry on to Costa Rica.
Once you've got your exit stamp, canceled your tip, and scanned your vehicle if required, you'll head towards Costa Rica, stopping at the Blue Pavilion, where you'll hand the customs officer your customs form, and then head on to Costa Rica. Just a few hundred meters down the road, you'll arrive in Costa Rica. If you're driving, you'll turn right into the fumigation area. If you're walking, you'll continue straight ahead until you reach the border offices. Be sure to take your luggage with you when you get your entrance stamp. They'll want to scan your luggage before you leave. The entrance stamp office is in the main building just on the left-hand side. If it's busy, you'll see people lined up underneath the roof. If you're driving, you'll start your vehicle tip by seeing the agent at the small window in the office to the right. You won't see any fixers entering or exiting Costa Rica. They're only on the Nicaraguan side, particularly on the exiting Nicaragua side.
We're in Costa Rica.
Yay, we made it! It took us about not quite 3 hours, just shy of 3 hours total to exit Nicaragua and enter Costa Rica. And half an hour of that entering Costa Rica was actually the tip office was on break. So there was one person working and they went on break, so we had to wait. But yeah, it was pretty, as we expected, border. I mean,
we've done the border a couple times already, so we're kind of familiar with the exit in, close in tip.
I didn't understand that.
And our phone still thinks we talked to her, but we don't.
Yeah, my phone's possessed. But yeah, we've done the Nicaragua border a few times, so we kind of have an idea, and we know that it's always a little bit of a rigmarole. There's really aggressive fixers, like they were legit running down the street to get to us, like full tilt sprint, and these were like grown adults that were not in great shape doing a full out sprint. I was like, what's going on? Did someone cross through the border? Oh no, they just wanted to try to help us. Well, the long and the short of it is we didn't need a fixer. We've been through this border before, twice, but the DGA office where they look at your vehicle, he was actually really helpful, and we're glad that we did end up using a fixer right at the border, only because she originally wanted us to take everything out of the car and scan absolutely everything.
To exit Nicaragua, they wanted to go and inspect everything.
Yeah, and like obviously we're camping, our car is loaded to the hilt, like it takes a while to pack it all up and Tetris everything in, so and we also had a bunch of food, so he helped us in that they only scanned our backpacks, and we each have one duffel bag of clothes. They scanned that, and then we had 2 shopping bags of non-perishable food, and they scanned that. They didn't even open our cooler, which was good because we did have some fresh fruit in there, not fruit, but just some like pre-made breakfast burritos and stuff like that, some condiments, and we had some hot dogs in there, so we're glad they didn't take our hot dogs. But that, and also she was a little not wanting us to have our propane tank and our dog food, and he kind of made all that go away. So whether we would or would not have had an issue without the fixer, it's always hard to say. Crossing the Nicaragua border, because it's always a wild card. I would say Nicaragua is a wild card.
Nicaragua, entering and exiting, is a very tough border to cross. I'd probably say the worst or the toughest border that we've ever come across.
Yeah, and the only one we haven't done in Central America thus far is Panama. So yeah, by far Nicaragua, hands down. Have your patience, be ready for it.
Yeah. But we'll say that the heads up for Panama, crossing with dogs is very expensive because there's a quarantine, a mandatory quarantine with the dogs. But
yeah. So this trip, we're just sticking with Costa Rica because we don't want to deal with that. We just want to have a good time with the dogs. So we're going to stay here for 3 full months. Crossing the border, it took us about an hour to exit Nicaragua, which also is like record-breaking fast. Because we've done it before with like no camping gear, nothing. And it was the fastest we've done it is an hour and a half. So that was pretty good. So we're all in, out of Nicaragua, got checked into Costa Rica, got our car tip, our car insurance, all that stuff. And yeah, now we're making our way towards La Fortuna, but we're aiming to stop and hopefully spend a couple of days at Rio Celeste or in that area. So we'll check in with you later. If you're curious about how to exit Costa Rica and enter Nicaragua, watch next week's video when we take you on a border run where we go from Nicaragua to Costa Rica, back to Nicaragua, all in one day. Our Costa Rican adventure is just beginning. Join us for more amazing adventures.